Because there was a written confession that Sanford allegedly made, the Wayne County prosecutor, Kim Worthy, is fighting his efforts to get a new trial to reverse.
2007, a little boy is walking through his neighborhood on the east side of Detroit, 7 Mile and Beeland to be exact. I say little boy because he was 14 and he really couldn't read and write. And that night, there was sirens in his neighborhood. There'd been a quadruple homicide. And they stopped to talk and question him, not for any particular reason, but just because he was outside. And Detroit police are infamous for dragnet policies in homicide cases. In fact, 1 year not too long ago, 1 out of 8 of all murder arrests in the entire country were in Detroit because the police would just grab anybody and take you in. And in the case of young Devontae Sanford, things took a very bad turn for the worse for that young man, and here's his story.
I told him I knew a guy, my auntie was like dealing with dating, and I knew he had been a detective, and they were like, "What's his name?" I'm like, "Bill Rice." They're like, "Oh, we know Bill."
So as soon as they are, something bad has happened, they asking you questions, that ain't good. So you're just like, well, my aunt knows a cop, maybe.
Yeah, I'm like, I live down the street.
I ain't got nothing.
I don't know nothing or whatever. And they picked the phone up, they called Bill and shit. I don't know what they said on the phone. They gave me the phone. Bill was like, "Man, do my friends, if you know something, help them out." I'm like, "Shit, I don't know nothing." Then that's when he's like, "Look, we want to take you and question you."
Were you like the only person outside? Like, what made them want to take you? Were you the only person outside? What time of night was this?
At that time, probably like 1 o'clock.
In the morning?
Yeah.
I guess. Well, I mean, what do you think made them decide to take you down? Because, well, just so people know, Detroit police got in a lot of trouble before for doing dragnets, where they come to a neighborhood, we take 100 people to jail until somebody tell us something. Right. Doesn't mean they had the slightest reason to think you knew anything.
I think they were just trying to hurry up and close the case.
They bring in enough people and scare everybody, somebody might say something.
Yeah. That's all that was.
So they just put you right in the car, they let you tell mom?
No, they took me home. My grandma signed the consent. They took me to the crime.
What did they tell her to get her to?
No, they was just like, we just want to question.
They ain't say nothing about no 4 dead bodies.
No, nothing. And took me back to the crime scene. They gave me a GSR gunshot.
That night?
Yeah, took me right back to the crime
right
scene.
before you went to jail.
I didn't even know what was going on for real. Took me to the crime scene. Gave me a gunshot ballistic test right there.
That's on your hands?
My hand. They did my hands and my face.
Nothing?
Nothing. It was nothing. Like, they never found any gun residue on me whatsoever. From there, they took me down to go get something to eat. Then they took me down to the station.
To 9th precinct or downtown?
1300 Bowman.
Oh, you went up to the 9th floor.
Yeah.
Ooh, that 9th floor is nasty.
Cold as fuck.
Dirty. Plank. So then what? Then now what are you? Do you know the crime yet?
No, not for real. They
talking
about it and shit. They had it didn't get real till like the next day because they let me go the following day. They came back and got me.
Oh, they did let you go. Okay.
And they came back and got me. Then it's like when they came back and got me.
Their vibe was different.
Yeah, the whole vibe was different. They got to show me pictures of the dead.
And you're in the 9th grade at this point.
Yeah, at the time.
Young.
Yeah, they got to show me pictures of the dead bodies. And
you 2 years away from 12.
Yeah. Got to show me pictures of the dead bodies and everything. And
people shot up with AK-47.
It was fucking crazy. And all I wanted to do was go home for real. So they kept telling me like, "Come on, you gonna go home?" They kept questioning me and shit. That's when one of the detectives, James Tober, he drew the sketch. That's what really was able to get my conviction overturned. That was a key part of the evidence.
Sketch of the house.
The sketch of the house, Granted, I knew where the bodies was at just off the pictures that I was shown.
So they show you the pictures.
Sketch. He drew the sketch.
He draws a sketch, and then they say, "Oh, where were the dead bodies?" And then they tell the court, "Well, how would he know where the bodies were if he didn't do it?" Oh,
wow. Facts.
But they do stuff like that. You ain't the only one they did it to, but damn.
Right.
So you're charged within a couple days. Like you're taken to court and charged.
Yeah, I was charged as a juvenile at first. So what they did in Wayne County, they got with this, it's like a 5-day waiver or a 7-day waiver. I did the 7-day waiver, and then I was formally charged as an adult.
At 14. Well, I met Nathaniel Abraham, the one they charged at 11.
Yeah,
Did you see him in prison?
No, I never bumped into him in prison.
'Cause he came back in.
Yeah, he went in and shit like that. You know, I feel sorry for him, all honesty.
Oh, yeah.
Just, you know, like, it'd be hard. A lot of people don't know, like he got a target on his back. Like, he had never, like, you know. And
all your formative years was in
I done been through some of the same shit. Just seeing dog, like, go through everything. Like, he be going through it, be, like, fucked up because I don't wish that on like nobody. It's like hell in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and me and him kind of went through like some of the same kind of similarly
this is all
like
over
ordeals.
The news.
Yeah.
And
you know,
now when you say
getting out, having to try to like.
Well, let's walk it slow because this is important and this is a lot of details. Now let's go back to your mother or your aunt and Bill Rice.
My aunt and Bill Rice.
Okay, so at some point they were like dating or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Yeah. Is she the woman that got the case with him later?
Yeah.
Okay. So why was Bill, okay, so I can see him getting on the phone if he thought you didn't know nothing about it and just walking by and saying, "Hey, help the cops." I can see it from his perspective. But then why did he let that go on with was he there when that was going on?
No, he wasn't.
Wasn't he the head of?
At one time he was, but
he wasn't then.
No, he was retired.
He wasn't on the force.
He wasn't on the force no more. He was retired.
And Tolbert was like, who interrogated you?
Tolbert and Russell.
Were they both pretty they just wanted to close the case? Was one worse than the other, or are they just a team?
Man, Sergeant Russell, like they both was piece of shit, bad people.
Were they more so, because they'll either do one of two things when they're interrogating you for something serious. Either they'll act like, we know you didn't mean, just tell us and then go home. Or
that was more Tolbert was the intimidator. That was more Russell trying to smooth shit.
When Tolbert intimidated you, what would he get physical?
Never physical, but just, raising his voice, showing pictures of the Russell showed me pictures of the dead bodies, but Tolbert, it's not a game.
And no lawyer ever shows.
No, I asked for a lawyer at one point in time.
You did? Yeah. Well, did that come up or that wasn't even necessary?
That was brought up, but it was looked over. Yeah.
And of course, a lot of us we get in trouble young. Like no one in our family knows what to do. They don't know. No. A lawyer is coming right now, or might not have the money or whatever.
Yeah.
But now an adult could have went with you.
Yeah. No, I had I did have an attorney.
But not them.
Not before. After I was
not when the important time when you're getting questioned. It's just
a
14-year-old. What high school you going to?
At the time, I was going to Osborne.
Yeah, not the world's greatest high school. You're in the 9th grade and not the world's greatest high school. And you got two intimidating adult males that you locked in a room. I mean, shit, you confess to any damn thing. Air quotes, So. You get taken to court, and then when you hear the quadruple murder, or when do you? No, you already know that in there. But was there a moment where you're like, "Oh, this ain't just they think I stole a car. Like this is bad."
I ain't gonna. It was in juvenile. It was hard to try to figure out what was going on. Shit was moving so fast. I used to have to fight a lot.
In juvenile?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because why? Your case was in the paper or just?
Yeah.
But that juvenile in Detroit, everyone's got a murder. Probably everyone's fighting.
Yeah, no, but it was just like some of the victims' family like worked there.
Oh shit!
So like they used to have guys fight me for hamburgers and like honey buns.
Some of the that's another scary thing in Detroit.
So,
a lot of law enforcement.
Yeah, so it's like shit. I'm gonna come out my cell. I'm gonna eat. In order to come out your cell and eat, you might get a fight. So I fought a lot in that motherfucker. Like, so like that was hard, you know.
How long did that go on?
Until I left.
Well, like how many months?
I did 8 months.
And then so they give you a trial. You don't plead guilty.
And they give me a trial. In the middle of my trial, I pled guilty.
Because why?
One of the surviving witnesses, Valerie Glover, she was shot like 9 times, and she wound up surviving. And she came to court, and she told the judge and everybody else in court it was me.
But you know, when people, I mean, it's fucked up to do that. But when people get shot that many times, they mad, hurt, you vaguely resemble, and sometimes witnesses do that. That's why they're not reliable.
No, she said it was me because of the police basically like.
Oh, telling her they knew.
Yeah, the police told her they had enough evidence on me, but they basically like needed her, but they knew it was like the right guy, and like she went along with it. You feel me?
So they manipulated everybody.
Yeah, which I don't feel like that was real. Like you a grown ass woman sending a 14-year-old to prison. For something you know he ain't do though.
Well, but remember, I mean, I'm not to
but
defend
you know
her,
I didn't do
but
this.
you shot. Not people is upset. Sometimes people get in the state of mind like I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't know.
You know I ain't do this.
Oh, I'm not agreeing with it.
A baby?
Yeah, that's you. So you sitting on the stand.
She was a whole lion.
And you were. I mean, you ain't.
I was a
huge
baby
now. Like I'm just saying, you're not like some monstrous guy. You look like a 14-year-old.
Bro, like I was a baby.
There's 14-year-olds who look 20. That wasn't you.
No, man, I was a baby. That lady lied, and her when she lied, and she got up.
That's what sunk you.
That's what scared me. I was facing 11 counts of natural life. If I would have lost trial, which I knew I was losing.
Why was it 11? It was 4 for the bodies.
I had 4 counts of first-degree murder, 4 counts of premeditated felony murder. I had all 8 of them charges held life sentences. Yeah. I had armed robbery, life sentence, felony firearm. I had home invasion, life sentence.
Okay, so now before we move into prison, let's give people. Tell us about this Beeland Street. But what was the area like? What was your life like? But what was going on in that house, and what did they say you did, or what happened, quote unquote? What was what was the reason for all this supposedly happened? What was the neighborhood like?
It was.
Is that the red zone? Or it's right
it can be considered. I don't think they really consider that red zone for real, but it's like right in that area. Yeah. It was a rough area.
That's where best friends is from Beeland.
It's even worse now though. Oh, honestly, it's fucked. It's terrible. It's fucked up over there. It's sad for real.
And what was this house and what was going on in it?
It was a hit. But that house was a drug house.
Were they growing weed in there or something?
Yes.
Is that all or you don't really know? It was all kind of shit going on.
They said they was growing weed out the house.
And some
mind you, I lived in this neighborhood. I never knew about this house.
Well, you're 14. Why you ain't?
Facts.
If you did get some weed, it was probably $5. Yeah.
Facts.
So, and that ties in with the Vincent Smothers thing, which I'm gonna go into. We'll just end with that. But so, did they have like an actual? Was there anyone charged with you?
No.
So
I was the only one.
So okay. So. What was the mode like? Did they tell her if it was? Did they say you did it as a hit or you did it as armed robbery?
They said I did it as a robbery.
So you just in the 9th grade took your AK-47 and kicked in the door in a dangerous neighborhood in Detroit in a house full of adults. Laid everyone down.
AK, what a 45.
They probably weighed half as much as you, damn near that age. And did they say you took anything?
Yeah.
What did they say you took?
Drugs.
But that was vague. They didn't have the drugs. Where would it hold up? If they grabbed you when you were walking around, how long had the murder happened when they caught you? Not caught you because you didn't do anything, but when they grabbed you.
Like an hour, if that.
So where's all this shit at? I mean, I'm sure they searched your whoever's house you living with. Damn, you had a hell of a network at 14. Kicking the door like Jesse James, your guys come, take the load, hide it. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
But so you were told to plead guilty when she got up because you would have got the Nat Turner, as they call it, natural life in the state of Michigan, first degree murders, mandatory natural life, no parole.
Yeah,
There's thousands of guys in the state of Michigan.
I would have got 11 natural life sentences on top of the 2 years felony.
Yeah, or you would have started off with the 2.
I would have started off with the 2. Yeah. Then I would have had to go do 11 natural life.
Coming home in a box.
I would have died in prison.
And there, just so people know, state of Michigan has several thousand people that have been in there since. At this point, like the guy, Frank.
I know.
One was 79, Sabir X. He was the oldest prisoner. What's his real name? But he was on that triple beheading murder in 1980. He'd been in since 79 or 80. He's the oldest prisoner. There's guys, they just sent Benji Kincaid back.
Man, Uncle Ray, he been in there.
And then there's a lot of people from the early 80s.
Years,
oh, yeah. 60 years?
Yeah, Q.
Who was that? I heard him.
Q been in there for like what?
He's somebody.
Yeah, right? Q been in there for like 50, like.
Because they gave him a prison murder in like 80 or something.
Yeah, he been in there for a minute.
Black Mafia.
Yeah, he been in there for a minute. He been in there for a minute.
Did you meet Benji Kincaid? You know who that is, though.
World. I heard of him. World. I heard of him. I haven't met him. I met a couple. I met. You know, they put me in a couple different yards.
Where'd you get sent to? So you were in juvenile or not? You never went to the county jail.
Okay, when I was in juvenile, I pled guilty. I was sentenced. Once I was sentenced, I was considered an adult. So they sent me, I couldn't go back to the juvenile, so they sent me to the county. So I went.
The old side.
Yeah, so they put me in the county. I went from the county.
At 14.
I was 15 at the time.
But it's a lot, I guess it's a lot of, I was in there at 17. Yeah. They got a lot of young men, but that was still quite young.
Yeah, I was 15. So what it is in the county, they had like special sides for like the young people who was coming in. So when I went to the county, I was 15. I couldn't be around nobody else. It's basically a
even 18-year-olds.
I couldn't be I couldn't be around.
Oh, so it's almost like a forced protective custody.
Yeah, a forced protect. Yeah. So I had to go. Went to the county. I was in the county for like 3 days.
Man, people that I know that interview that have been in like different jails and federal prisons around the country, being met people there all like Wayne County Jail, the worst county jail.
That shit was so crazy to me, bro. So from there, they sent me to
Riverside.
Jackson.
Oh, don't they do under 20?
Quarantine.
Thought they do under 25 at Riverside, or they just do it all at Jackson?
No. I went to Jackson. When they sent me to Jackson, I had to do quarantine, but I didn't have to do like that normal quarantine that's like 30 days. My quarantine was like a week. Oh. But even when they sent me there, they kept me separated from like the adult population.
So you're not interacting with too many people yet?
No. Then from there, they sent me to Thumb. Once I went to Thumb, Lapeer, that's when they threw me in population.
That's max, right?
No, it's level 2.
Oh, even though you had all that time.
Yeah,
because you're so young.
Yeah, but they got a YO side. They got a side for hiders and the youthful offenders. Then they got the adult side. So I was there till I was like 17.
Okay, so what you get to Thumb and what's
that shit was crazy.
Okay, like
it was wild.
Well, okay, there's all these YouTube prison channels now, but ain't hardly none of them except one is Michigan prisons.
Yeah, it was wild. It was like they call that bitch like that's Baby LA.
Why? Oh, because of gangs?
Because of the gang, like that's where everybody go and start
just
off.
Popped when I was growing up. That was not.
That's where everybody go and start off at. Then like it's segregated.
Where did they say you were in a gang?
Not at the time.
I mean, they didn't say that. You got STG'd or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah. I fuck around, got STG too.
What were the What percentage of guys there, I know you can't give exactly, are like from Detroit or black or whatever, all that? Probably like half is from Detroit alone.
Facts. Detroit
More
big
than
as hell
half.
on the yards. Yeah.
But then we subdivide.
I say after Detroit, it will be a Flint. But Saginaw, it's like Saginaw, like they
Do they run together?
Which one?
Flint and Saginaw.
No,
Not at all.
Not like that. They cool, everybody cordial, but you know, like it ultimately go by, you know, with sense versus.
What were the couple most, you know, strongest groups? I know it probably changes when you were there at Thumb. What year was that? 09 or something? 08?
That was 08. The Bloods.
But it's more than one, or they all stuck together.
Shit, we all stuck together on the fire. It wasn't no Pyrus, headbangers, 7 deep. Like everybody was like one for real, for the most part. Like everybody.
Now, did you have to fight a lot?
Hell yeah.
Over what? Just little petty arguments?
Just banging, you know, gangs, little shit.
Yeah.
Fighting and shit, you know.
Regular, like fighting like we fight, or like life-threatening knife fights?
At the beginning, it was like that. At the beginning, it was like that, but you want to.
It was like what?
Just, you know, shit, lock down, I go in your cell, you come in my cell, we gonna fight.
Okay, but it was not like someone coming to kill you.
Not like at the beginning, it wasn't like that. Once I rolled out.
So you moved from Thumb when you turned what, 17, 18?
17,
okay.
yeah.
So now they 17, you can be put in with.
And they sent me to Michigan Reformatory.
MR dorm.
The Gladiator.
Yeah.
No, they sent me to singles. And
not the dorm, the MR, the regular MR.
Yeah, because. You know,
there's MR Reformatory and MR dorm.
Yeah. So they sent me there, and when I went there, by that time I was already SDG 1.
Oh, so it's bold, yeah, but you can find something else.
Yeah. By that time I was already SDG 1.
So that's security threat group.
Yeah.
So that's prison gang.
Yeah, I had caught like 3 assault cases on guards.
Which were they really assaults or just like some pushing?
Man, it was some bullshit. Like one time they came in my cell. Long story short, a guard wound up breaking his shoulder. Don't know how he did it, but I got charged with that. One time a guard wound up getting his face like spit in or whatever. Just like ran, and they seen I had like my cases how profiled, so it was like any little thing they can do. So try to like get me.
The
like,
Thumb is a couple hours from Detroit. What were the guards? Was it like all white guards?
They had some black guards.
How many? Not that makes just because guards black.
They had a few black guards that was cool. It was it was a couple white guards that was cool.
But was it a lot of rural?
Facts. They don't really know, like they first like interaction with black people be a prison.
People in prison, yeah.
So, you know, like that's facts. But like it was a couple cool ones, you know, solid ones who was there, like, shit, they taught me a lot. They taught me how to read, write, all that.